Now we will do a little bit of a dive into the portfolio about what were the things that impacted our portfolios in the last, I would say, mostly the month, but the last 2 weeks were the most important ones, and especially the last week has been quite volatile. So one of the first things that we saw was a crisis in the software space. Why was this crisis triggered? Because typically the SaaS software industry model, which is where you use Microsoft email or you use Microsoft Windows, all the fees and licensing is on a per seat basis. That means it's on a per employee basis for enterprise companies. When you have licensing and revenues on a per employee basis, and then here comes AI, whose entire premise is that they will reduce the number of employees, which means they'll reduce the number of seats that are required. It kind of hurts the revenue model that these SaaS companies are working on. Now, this is not new information. This has been around for more than 2-3 years, and the market was grappling with that. We had actively evaluated that, got out of companies that were purely based on the seat-based model. But now what happened? Apart from this seat-based model, something interesting happened when Anthropic, which is offers one of the best LLM models, they introduced a plugin for one of their software, LLM software, where an agentic AI can directly do a lot of mission critical work, which a legal software, a vertical legal software in that industry could do, which means it could replace that software. So now you have another issue. It's not only your model is changing for the software industry from a per employee or a per seat model to a more of a usage-based model. Now you have softwares that are replacing the entire SaaS software. So the product is big. It had a moat. Now that moat is going away. So your revenue was threatened, and then your entire business model had major competition from LLM companies or AI tool companies. So this really hit the market hard at a very bad time when we had this volatility from the gold and silver crash. This hit at the exact same time. And so that led to something that we call it, shoot first and ask questions later. Now, this is what caused the software meltdown in the last 1 week. Now, many companies have shifted away from this per seat model, but they are still, they still could have this issue where their entire software could be replaced by AI. And so the first reaction is sell everything. We don't know what is going to be impacted. The market sold off everything. Now, in the last 1 or 2 days, we are seeing some differentiation happening between the software companies, where now people are thinking which companies have a higher moat, which companies have a lower moat. And the companies which have a higher moat are now recovering, and we do see that happening in the market. Yesterday also was that day where a lot of recovery we saw in some of these names. But that is what caused the problem. It was caused at the exact same time when this gold and silver crash happened. So the impact of it was just exacerbated, right? Normally something like this, you would see a 1 or 2% move in the software companies. Because of this, the moves were in the 8 to 10% in every software company in the world, right? Almost 99% of them. So that's what was the big thing that shook the software market.